And welcome to Dodo Modern Poets on the first show of our autumn-winter season at the Poetry Cafe, September Songs. And we've got a great lineup here for you tonight. We have Eve Pearce, we have Isabel Bermudez, Zolan Quabble and Patric Cunnane, myself. And just if you haven't been to the Poetry Cafe before, just to let you know, you've probably found it already, the bar's upstairs, the loos are at the back. Just to give you an idea of the shape of our evening, we're going to, each poet will perform for about 10 minutes in the first half, then there will be a 20-minute interval, so you can top up your glass, and then we'll repeat the medicine in the second half. So that's broadly it, not too complex. So I'm going to kick off this evening. Anyway, this is the new Cold War. Delicious irony. A man called Snowden brings on a new Cold War. Washington huffs, Moscow puffs, feeding hay to Mr. Ed for secrets that are secrets no longer. On Airstrip 1, fog prevents flight. GCHQ doing another's dirty work. Want to shop a Brit? No bother. Big Brother is watching us. WikiLeaks pisses on Big Brother. Democracy caught in the headlights of truth. We knew you couldn't trust the bastards. The bastards know they can't trust us. Now the coat's lining is exposed, fermenting a duel between hot and cold. What was that about a place called Hope? It looks uncannily like a place called Sold. Seats. Hi Andy, thanks for coming. I'm going to do a couple of poems about the working life now. This one's called the Old Office. It may be familiar to some of you. It felt solid, the old office. Workers bashing typewriters, where personnel now surf the net. Spam curdling in the bin, blinds to keep the greyness in. You could count on its blockiness, lockable cabinets, no valuables inside, the stationery cupboard, and Aladdin's cave for secret poets. Lunchtime routines, swilling it back in the pub, plates of greasy grub, none of your prat in a manger. So many changes. We used to come in Saturday mornings, wages arrived in brown envelopes, cash was king. Best not spend it all on a weekend fling. Yes, Grandad, and was the office solid? Oh, it was solid all right. Workers bashing typewriters, where personnel now surf the net. The ladies' perfume losing out to the fumes of booze and reek of fags. It was a ripe enough time for us old lags. My father died when I was 15, so although I knew what he did for a living, he was an electrician, I didn't really have very much of an idea what his typical working day was like. I knew he went onto sites and wired buildings before they were completed. So in this poem, Working Day, I tried to imagine how my father spent his day when he was away from us and then magically reappeared again in the evenings. I imagine my father's working day, an electrician going on sites to connect future owners to the juice of light. He came home tired, luxuriating in the simplicity of family. 3 children, my mother, Noddy, the wild flatulent beast designated as family pet. My father started early, out and away before we rose for school. Beloved leader, until illness spirited him away, and I was found an ill-fitting suit for his funeral. What were his days like? Did he join his mates at a caff? What did they talk about? The old country, I suppose, for there are a lot of Irish in that job. When they finished building this country, you could find them down the pub. My father's kindred spirits are everywhere, lean-faced men, grubby from work, useful men who can wire a house, create something true in the truest sense. I imagine my father's working day, the manly-centred reality of him, labouring to build structures that survive. In my father's mansions, there are many rooms. He lit them all. I imagine you're all familiar with Murder on the Orient Express. I was reading it the other day and I found there was a nice little topical reference at the beginning of the novel. So we could use the services of that fine Belgian detective to sort out one of the world's pressing problems now. So this is Poirot. Poirot investigates. Is it Poirot or Poirot? Poirot. Poirot investigates. Poirot investigates. I only have to say it once in the poem, fortunately. At the beginning of Murder on the Orient Express, Hercule Poirot is returning from a little affair in Syria. We could do with his help there now. Who unleashed the chemical weapons? We can probably rule out Martians, Neanderthals, Visigoths. The little Belgian detective, Monvieux, will have his own ideas. Assembling the suspects, he will forensically examine their motives. His armoury, mon ami, won't include cruise missiles, phosphorus bombs, or the music of Meatloaf. Just a simple desire to get at the truth, as befits the supreme investigator from the nation that is numero uno for exquisite chocolate and fine beer, in which, to the best of my taste buds, no chemicals are used. I was in Prague for some time in the summer, and we visited the Golden Lane, the street of the alchemists, and Franz Kafka lived in a house in Golden Lane for a while, and I think he'd find it amusing that his former house is now a Kafka souvenir shop. But while we were there, even though it was summer, it was quite wintry for the first couple of days. It felt like the ghost of Kafka was everywhere, even in our hotel room. This is the ghost of Franz Kafka. The ghost of Kafka enters room 119, where the poet and his wife are sleeping. He casts a spell, and they're forever changed. Married in their dreams on the river Vltava. The boat stops under the Charles Bridge. A flame-haired woman recites vows. She calls on the gods to bless this union, casts white lilies on the water. Kafka peers at things arranged in the bathroom. He fingers clothes in the closet, envies the ethnic green shirt, muses how the purple Chinese dress would look good on any woman. He plays with the radio dial. The sleepers hear Mozart in their dreams. Over the many-crowned Balkani, clouds dispense a chilly bohemian rain. The writer sneaks down Golden Lane, plants spells on doors, plots a formula for turning metal into gold. The sleeping couple stir. Kafka gazes out the window, anticipating tonight's fireworks, shower bursting over the forest, the modern alchemy of a too bright world. The writer examines his reflection, lean, angular, monochrome, the sleeping couple in the lower half of the frame. A cock crows, a pale sun rises in the east. Kafka pads to the door, joins the maids and early risers in the corridor. Across the city, hangovers alert their owners to folly, to the painful cost of letting go. Kafka slips away, nothing here to see, nothing more you need to know. I'm going to finish with one poem from my collection, Baltimore, and here it is. It's called Choosing a Teddy Bear for Sheena. Now Sheena is my niece, and at this moment in time she's travelling through South America. But this is a poem I wrote just after she was born, and I wanted to buy her a very traditional teddy bear made in Britain if possible. And so this is the story of how that tale and ambition worked out. Choosing a teddy bear for my niece aged 7 weeks, I'm seized by moral doubt. The most beautiful bear comes from a farther shore, yet Aaron sweated and woolly hatted is possessor of such soulful eyes, only found in friends who are truly wise. His less appealing friends help British workers to make ends. Which to choose? My immigrant friend tugs at my sleeve in halting English pleads. It's not my fault I'm foreign, don't leave me on the shelf, because I too have needs. Oh, come with me, Korean bear, I'll rescue you from mother care, and introduce you to a friend whose life you are to share. Together you will be two little people in a world at sea, so set aside your fear, we can make a new start here. Thank you very much. Our next poet, is it a bit noisy upstairs? Can you hear okay? Yeah. You can hear okay. Good.
Yes.
It's both noisy upstairs and you can hear okay.
Because you're so good.
Thank you. Now it's okay. It's not too bad, is it? Okay. I want to introduce Eve Pearce. Now, Eve, I've seen read several times this summer at the Poetry Cafe during the